Hello, Lotus Heart Tarot. I'm super excited to have you here. We are going to dive right into the reading. I do like to begin my readings by thanking those of you who are amazing. You guys, I was so touched by the comments on yesterday's video. Yesterday's video didn't have a ton of views, which is fine. But I mean, oh my gosh, the comments and just, you guys are amazing. You're really wonderful. And I truly treasure you. And I thank you so much for, leaving comments when it's not what you normally do, or, just all the ways in which you reach out and you support me and this channel. I really am so touched, and I really am so grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. To those of you who are new to the channel, I welcome you wholeheartedly. I hope that you find a message that brings you peace and clarity, something that resonates. If you do, I hope that you'll leave a comment or subscribe or like the video, however you feel guided and feel comfortable. All right. Just keep in mind, guys, this is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. Let's begin. For Pisces, please, Spirit, what messages do you have for Pisces? What does Pisces need to know right now? What do they need to hear? Okay, that is a lot of cards. Let me shuffle it. What does Pisces need to know right now? Oh my gosh, these huge chunks keep coming out. And, when that happens, I do feel that there is, that there's, oh my gosh, do you see that? Like just giant chunks are falling out. And that doesn't, usually happen with this deck. I use this deck not a lot, but I mean enough. It's not super stiff. I just feel like there may be a lot of messages, or there may be a lot happening all at once, or things may come out in ways that you're not prepared for, or that don't normally happen in that way. Spirit, what message do you have for Pisces? All right. Wow, Pisces. Well, I love this energy. Yesterday, I know we touched a little bit on, our own self-worth. And I told the story of the boy and the watch that his father had given him, and how, it isn't, life isn't about us proving our value or proving our worth or proving that we deserve to be in a space, or that we deserve to be seen, or we deserve to be heard, or we deserve to be cared for. That's not it. we deserve it. I don't want to say like automatically, but like, and what does that mean even? It's like once you start going down the rabbit hole, right? We all are worthy, okay? Automatically. Point blank, period. I was listening to Gabor Mate one time, and I know I've told this story on this channel many times, but he was saying our worth is inherent. Our worth is not up for decision making, like are we or are we not worthy? Like that entire concept is just flawed, and that it really is perception. It has nothing to do with reality or truth, because reality and truth is, what the heck, you're a living, breathing miracle. You know what I mean? Like the fact that you are a spiritual being having a human experience on this earth, and that this earth is providing for you, and that, over the course of hundreds of thousands of years, we have learned how to like survive to where we have homes and air conditioning and automobiles and ships and, like all these things. And it's like, if you really go down that hole, or go down that whole thought pattern. This idea that you might not be worthy is such a joke. It's so ridiculous. And it's like, but yet, almost everything external to us at one time or another shows us, or can be interpreted as saying you're not worthy. This is where we're taking our power back. This is where we're saying, no, I am definitely worthy. This sacred reverence energy there, see the key. I feel something about keys with you guys. I've seen them in cards, and the key I always associate with Hierophant energy. So there could be some kind of commitment or some kind of spiritual ascension happening here for you. But this card, what it really talks about is that spirit exists in everything, everywhere. And when you are in this space of joyful aliveness, I don't know how else to say it, but like this experience of like, wow, it's amazing. It's incredible that we're alive. It's incredible that we even have this opportunity to have this experience. And we are pursuing our curiosity. We're out, when something, when something makes us want to know more, we don't just say, I'd like to know more about that someday. We go and we find more. We pursue it, and we pursue even the sacredness of the thing, right? And when we're in this energy, this energy is actually key to manifesting our dreams into reality. Because when we are in wonder and awe of this experience, we're calling in more things to be in wonder and awe of. And when we tap into that like kind of magical essence that exists in life, and we we realize or we experience our manifestations in reality, and we touch our own powerfulness, we touch our own unlimited nature, the truth of our actual capacity, not the limited idea that I don't know why this is coming up, but I mean, a long time ago, maybe one of the first things that I read, remember when The Secret was really popular? I want to say it was like the early 2000s. I bought the book, I bought the video, I bought it all. I don't know, I was just so affected by it. And one of the things I believe she says in that is that the secret is something that people have known for centuries, but kind of the wealthy or the powerful did not want the average man to be able to get their hands on it, didn't want them to be able to access it, because they needed this hierarchical power. They needed, people to do the work so that they could reap the reward, or, however you want to look at it. It's kind of unimportant to it. But that's why it's called The Secret, right? Is that they didn't want people to know about it. And, so it is no wonder that this world is set up in a way in which, it is almost proving to you day after day that like your worth is a question mark. It is where we're still trying to decide. And who is anybody else to decide? You decide. You decide for yourself. How could anyone else know more about you or know more about anything? And actually, it's already been decided. It was decided the moment you breathed your first breath. So this royal you energy is owning your power, and it is, tapping into the opening up to even the concept that there is this unlimited nature about you. And it is empowering that unlimited nature within you almost through the act of really seriously believing in yourself and understanding your worth. It brings you into alignment with the actual truth, not what the world wants you to believe, other people want you to believe. You know, the difficulty in friendship and the difficulty, and I've had a lot of friends in my life. Some of them have been really incredible. Some of them are really incredible. But the friends that I have that where there is no competition, there is no envy, there is no jealousy, there is no, it took me a long time to like wake up and realize that people were envious and people were jealous and people were actually trying to make me doubt my own situation and even make me doubt myself. I would never do that to another person. So understanding that other people, especially people that cared about me or loved me or said they did, were actually actively doing that. I mean, I'll call her my best friend till one of my best friends until, you know, probably until I die, because just, you know, she was somebody that stood beside me in a difficult time when she really did not have to. But the thing about it is, you know, she will sometimes, when I know it's when she's feeling really down, she's had some really hard times too. And I have stood beside her the best way I know how. But when she's feeling really down, she will sometimes just call me and say things to me that are, I mean, there's absolutely no way in this world that she doesn't know that it's going to hurt me. And, or that, I don't know that it does hurt me, but it definitely, I can just see it very clearly. I can see what she's doing. She's trying to make herself feel better by like pointing out that I'm not perfect, or that, you know, it's usually something she'll bring up about my parents, and she knows my parents, and I'm like, wow, okay, you know what I mean? So even in these friendships that we have, and where it's like, I mean, I love her and I love her so much, but like, I can still see, I still know, I still see that she is wounded and that she's hurting, and that she's trying to, instead of saying to me, I'm wounded and I'm hurting, can you love me? Can you sit beside me? Can you hug me? Can you be there for me? She comes at it with this energy, and it's hurtful. Because I would love to hug her. I would love to be there for her. I would love to sit beside her. I would love to tell her it's going to be okay. I would love to be that person. And that's who I have always been whenever she has needed me, to the best of my ability, you know? But even in our deepest friendship, even in, you know, these long, years-long friendships, you know, we have those, there's still this humanness, there's still this imperfection, there's still this, you know, selfness in them. You know, it's not a, you know, I just don't know how to say it, but even then, you know, there is this energy of, people who have that intimate space with you trying to, and I don't, you know, it's like, I have such a hard time being like, they're always conscious and they're always definitely trying to do this. Like, no, I don't really believe that. I feel like a lot of people live very unconsciously. And, you know, it goes back to that whole Brene Brown thing where, do you believe that people are doing the best they can? You know, it's for you to decide. And, you know, it's like when Brene Brown asked her husband and he said yes. And she said, why do you believe that? And he said, because it makes me feel better to believe that. We do get to choose what we believe. And so it is our choice, you know, to say, yeah, that person's definitely trying to hurt me. The thing is, sometimes motive isn't what's really important. Sometimes it's result. Like, okay, you know, does it hurt me so much that I need to protect myself from that energy? Whether you are doing it intentionally or not doing it intentionally, do I need to put up a boundary, a stronger boundary here? And it has created distance in my friendship with that best friend. I'm just not the type of person to ever forget those people who have been there for me, like really been there for me ever. I will always give those people another chance, another chance, another chance. I will always be, not, I won't give them, I don't even know how to describe it, but I know I have boundaries, but I won't totally cut the cord, you know, and believe me, I'm a cord cutter, because, you know, if you can cut off your own parents, you can cut off anyone, but that's not what I'm out to do. I'm out to seek connection and to build bridges. And there are some things that some people have done that I will always be just like, huh, you know, I'm always going to try when it comes to you. I'm always going to try to see the love. I'm always going to try to see the love. Then you have a burst of magic on the bottom of the deck. And this is talking about an epiphany and a deep inner knowing that kind of happens very suddenly, where you really understand and you can almost see from a higher level perspective that everything has a purpose, that everything that has ever happened has a purpose and a meaning. And I think this came out, I don't know if it was yesterday's reading or it was a recent reading, where, I don't know, I remember suddenly in the reading feeling like you meet someone that makes you understand why all the things that haven't worked out for you. Or the things that have worked out for you have worked out for you. It's all kind of led you to this culminating point. And these points happen periodically through our lives. You know, especially if we're like really open to them. So Pisces, there's something here where you're really connecting and tapping into the true creative nature of, which is really Empress energy, right? Wow. Well, that energy right there is a tower. This storm and regeneration. So for some of you, you've already had, I feel like for most of you, there's already been some kind of breaking down of something that has happened. Maybe even breaking down of the way that you view people, a person, things, life, whatever. It's like, you know, what is a tower energy? It's when something is built on a faulty foundation. And therefore, you know, there's always this flaw in the base. And when there's a flaw in the base, it doesn't ever really have the strength to withstand the test of time. Like you can't, it's eventually going to crumble. It's an inevitability. It's not sustainable. But we oftentimes have this, like, let's say the seed is that, you know, my worth is, you know, determinable or is questionable, isn't just a given, right? Like, let's say we've built on that foundation, that there's a possibility that exists that I am not worthy. Even that for your foundation, right? And most of us have some of that in our foundation, right? Because, you know, we've had difficulties with our parents, our siblings, society, we've been bullied, we've been, you know what I mean? So there is that kernel of doubt that like maybe we aren't worthy, right? And then everything that we build after that point where we accept that and allow that to be part of our foundational truth is flawed after that, because that is not true. And so it will eventually fall apart. When it falls apart, it's falling apart so that we look at the foundation and we say, what's wrong about this foundation? Why did this tower fall? Why didn't this stay standing? We introspect, we look within, we say, man, let me pull my energy back in. Let me look at what's happened here. Let me figure it out so that when I build back, I'm building back stronger. And there's this energy of regeneration here, which is saying, you know, we're regenerating. And you can see all the fertility energy. There's snakes, there's third eyes, there's I see a tiger face here, but I don't know if there is a tiger face there. And then I see feathers here. It just feels teeming with life and with new energy and this new infusion and this new deeper understanding with these like third eyes here of, you know, our connection, this tapped in energy of how spirit exists in everything, including in us, and how it is just when we tap into that, to the wonder and awe and the curiosity of the world, and in looking at things and seeing the divinity in them, you know, that we, once we start to see that in everything, then we're attracting more of that toward us, and we're seeing it within ourselves, and it's being reflected back to us, as within, so without. And as it's reflected back to us, it's reflected back to us in the form of, you know, manifestations becoming realities. So I don't know if this is your experience, Pisces, or if this can be a shared experience or a mirrored experience, or if this is your person's experience. I felt guided to get message cards to read right here, so we're going to do that. Wow, you're just getting 2 here. I thought about reaching out to you, but then I've stopped myself. And it really was me, not you. The thought of you still does things to me on the bottom of the deck. So yeah, you know, Pisces, some of you may have been in a relationship with someone where it's like they may have blamed you, or they may have made you feel like you were the problem, or that you were too much, or too clingy, or too this, or too that, or you expected too much, or you needed too much, or but I feel this energy of deep down inside, this person sort of knowing it really wasn't you, it was them, and they were projecting onto you. I do think that this person still thinks about you. I do think that they still care about you. I do think that, you know, they do think about reaching out to you. Maybe they even have, like, lightheartedly. There's just this energy. I almost feel like there is someone out there from your past that does feel, I feel like guilty. You know, I feel a sense of like, I feel guilt. That's what I feel. They may have really broken you down and really made you question a lot of things. They may have even been your tower moment. But it feels like, Pisces, you took that tower moment, you took that as an opportunity to really look at things and to really build yourself back stronger. It's almost like it became a gift to you, you know, that you alchemized something that was deeply painful into an experience where you really found your own worth and your own value. And I feel like this person is feeling guilty. You know, I don't see where this person is transforming and changing and coming back. We're going to dive into the tarot. We may see it there, but it may have been a situation that was the bridge to you finding yourself. That the soul contract may have even been that, like, you're going to come in and break my heart and not be able to show up, and I'm going to learn a lot from it. And conversely, you're going to learn a lot from it. I don't know if I've said this to you guys on this channel recently, But I was watching, I don't know if I was watching something or reading something. This was like years ago, like probably 3 or 4 years ago. And it was about soul contracts. And this person was saying that even the people that come in and do the most harm to us, oftentimes we have a soul contract with them, and they're part of our soul family, and they're actually like taking the karmic hit out of love for your soul. Their soul loves your soul, and you're wanting to learn this lesson in this life. Take what resonates, guys. I still don't know how I feel about this. I sit with it sometimes, and it's coming up right now, so I'm offering it to you. But there's an agreement made before you come down here that they're going to be the one that does something terrible to you in this life. But it's something that you want to learn, or that your soul has kind of asked into existence, and they so love you that they're willing to come down and be this, devilish or whatever person in your life to help you, because that's what you're asking for as a soul, to learn, for your own enlightenment. Now, I don't know. I'm not saying, yeah, man, that's definitely true or anything like that. I can't tell you what's definitely true and what's definitely not true. But I can just say that it was an interesting thought that I definitely had to think about. Man, yeah, there is somebody who is from your past, and they see the work that you've done. They see the transformation that you've made. They see how you have really alchemized the situation and have really tapped in. This Empress energy is intense. And that you're abundant, you're creating, you have changed into a bigger, better, brighter version of yourself that's just more connected, more tapped in, more and more. And that's just what I'm getting. This person definitely thinks about you a lot. I think this person, it's like with the Page of Cups, it's like, I do feel they genuinely feel that they owe you an apology. I feel like they genuinely feel that with the Page and the Empress, I feel like they actually felt you were too good for them. So they may have, even when you were with this person, I feel like they felt that even before I feel like you were an Empress. I feel like they actually really did love you or have deep feelings for you. Like it was reciprocated. But I feel like they just didn't feel good enough for you even then. I think they sure don't feel good enough for you now. I think you've been on an evolutionary journey, and I think they've just been sitting there feeling bad, not asking themselves, why did I do it? Why don't I feel good enough? How can I fix that? You may have gotten very curious, and you may have explored a lot of things in life, and explored a lot of questions of why, why did this happen? Why am I open to people like this who treat me this way, or whatever, For some of you, this person may have been a Leo. Yeah, when you met this person, I feel like with an Emperor in reverse and the Six of Swords in reverse, I feel like they were someone who had a lot of insecurities, had a lot of self-defeating thoughts, instead of their thoughts taking them from a place of difficulty to a place of ease. or calm, they often took them from a place of calm to an energy of like dis-ease. You know, they could become moody, possibly. For some of you, they could have been in Aries. There's a lot of fire energy here and a lot of water energy here. But there's this energy of, especially when they were at low points in their thoughts, or when their thoughts were making them turbulent, well, they may have kind of projected their energy outward in order to try to bring calm to themselves and try to make themselves feel better. Kind of like my one of my best friends. You know, it's like my thoughts are really getting to me. They're really hard. And, you know, who do we do that to? Well, typically people do that to the people that they know love them so much, you know, that they're not going to kind of just write them off or give up on them or cut them off, or, you know, it's like that's typically, you know, I there's that meme or whatever on Instagram that says, you know, it's usually the people who, you know, have the most access to you, who are supposed to like love you the most, that hurt you the most. And with this Emperor in reverse, it's like, it's someone who really does have low self-esteem. It's someone who tries to project that they have it all together, or that they're really solid, they're really stable, they really know who they are, and they're really making decisions that are in the best of everyone, and that they're sort of beyond reproach. And they project this so that, you know, it is a bit of a narcissistic energy, I'm not gonna lie. But they project this so that, you know, you don't see what's really going on underneath the surface, which is a lot of turmoil and a lot of self-doubt and a lot of really discomfort inside themselves, with themselves. And but this person had strong feelings for you, genuinely strong feelings for you. And I feel like this person, I feel like when they were actually with you, you helped tame that beast for them. You helped sort of take the edge off of that energy that they possessed within themselves. And they did, and for that, they genuinely loved you. Like, they genuinely did, to the degree in which they could. They had, you know, because they're a page, they had feelings. I do think that this person does consider you a soulmate, but I do feel that this ended, especially because you have the Six of Cups upright and then the Six of Swords in reverse. It's like we were in harmony until we weren't, you know, the harmony ended. Sometimes the Six of Swords in reverse can mean that this person is thinking about coming back around. That may actually be what they think about now when their mind gets very turbulent. They may think, well, I'm going to call Pisces, or I'm going to reach out to Pisces, especially with that page energy and the Six of Swords in reverse. They may think about coming back, like that could help me feel better. You know, it may not have been this bad when I was with Pisces. Well, of course, because they were probably taking it out on you. They were probably using you to make themselves feel better. But you're not a vibrational match for this person anymore, with the Six of Swords in reverse and the Empress here. You also have the Wheel of Fortune. The tables have turned. The tide has changed. That version of you and that spot in time where that was possible is over. You know what I mean? It's like it's giving way to a different time. Because you are having a new beginning. You're starting a new cycle. Here with the Wheel of Fortune, the Fool, the Magician, you have alchemized that experience into something new. With the Fool card energy, you've also released it. You're not walking around holding on to the past, looking behind you, wondering if this person is going to come back. If you're not here yet, don't worry, you'll get here. That's what I'm getting. It's like you will eventually be free of this. If you are still in the trenches, it's okay. Things are changing and you will come out of it. Um, and you will alchemize this new beginning. You have the full card into the Magician. Like, this is the 0 and the 1 of the major arcana. You're making progress. You are coming to a place where the past no longer haunts you. Those things that disappointed you, you're not sitting in the energy of disappointment and discontent and just feeling like almost like life has let you down, or like people do nothing but let you down, or like you give and give and then and you just get crapped on. You know, no good deed goes unpunished. It's like you're coming out of that, you're releasing that, you're letting that go as your experience and as what you're telling yourself. You're focusing now on what you want to have happen, on what you are manifesting, on what you're alchemizing, on what you're creating. You know, Empress, Magician, Full card, like these are big energies. And they're all creative and they're all productive and they're all moving forward. And with the Wheel of Fortune here, this is, you know, this is a change in cycle. This is, how do we change the cycle? We make a different decision. So when we stop focusing on the past, we start having different experiences. Yeah, look at this. You're rising above. Wow, man, Pisces, I feel such a sense of pride here. You are rising above anything that would seek to stand in your way, any kind of obstacle, any kind of drama, any kind of chaos, anything that you're not sitting in the lower vibrational heavy energies of disappointment and regret. I feel conversely with that Wheel of Fortune and now seeing this, you know, 5 of Cups, 5 of Wands energy. It's like I feel like your person hasn't really been able to move on. I feel like there is some kind of blockage or some kind of conflict that is, you know, sort of intensifying within them. And part of it is the deep sense of regret and sadness that they feel with the loss of you. And now they see with the Judgment card, Judgment can be a card of reconciliation, but it's also at the core of the core of the core, this energy of rising above. And we're clarifying the Magician here. And it's like you alchemized, they left you in a place where you were depressed, where you were sad, where you were heartbroken, where, you know, you may have even regretted ever having been with that person or found that person's name or known that person because of how badly they hurt you. And you've risen above it and you've gotten into a place where you're alchemizing all that hurt and all that pain into a beautiful new future for yourself. You're making a different decision. You're changing the cycle. And this person is still sitting there with the weight of it, unable to move beyond it with that 5 of Wands, blocked, delayed, because they haven't changed. They haven't figured out how to heal, really. Which is so sad. And they're seeing you rise up out of reach. Even this fantasy that they've been telling themselves for so long that like has calmed them when their mind has gone bad on them, that, oh, I'll get back together with Pisces eventually. It's like it's going out of their reach. It's rising too high for them to still feel that it's even within their grasp, even in a fantasy. They know. But this is the catalyst for their change with the 2 5s. This is the catalyst for them to, another opportunity for them to do different should they make that choice with their free will. You have the 7 of Wands clarifying the Fool card. You know, all 7s are a pretty spiritual number. And the 7 of Wands is, you know, there's this energy of reclaiming my power here, of standing my ground, of, do you see, even in this card, you can see where it's like everything's coming at me here. But then when I start to see the abundance in everything, when I start to see spirit in everything around me, when I start to look at life through these eyes of what a miracle it is, and how there is more than enough for everyone, and there's certainly more than enough for me, and that I have my desire and I am worthy of my desire. I'm worthy of having everything that I desire. That's what starts to show up. That's what starts to manifest. These are pentacles. This is the material world right here. And so instead of having to fight for everybody off for everything and feeling like you constantly have to defend yourself and fight to be seen and fight to be heard and fight for recognition and fight for to be loved back in whole measure. Instead now it's like you're seeing through these eyes of abundance and of, you know, that Empress kind of energy of like, I am unlimited. I am worthy of everything that I want and desire in this world. And it's mine for the taking. I'm going to go out, I'm going to overcome, and I'm going to get it. And yeah, I just, it's you, the energy is, it's like, it is like turning tables, right? It is that, wow, damn, this really wants to be talked about today. I don't know I'm not sure why, because I don't feel you're moving in this direction. I feel like this is behind you. But I mean, maybe it is some part of your healing or some part of something that it's like, sometimes maybe we need to see these things to know how far we've come too. I'm not sure. You've got the Seven of Swords and the Devil and the Five of Wands on the bottom of the deck. Wow. Wow. Oh my God. You know, the Seven of Swords are the things that are misaligned with us, and there are thoughts that are misaligned with us, that are misaligned with the truth. And that's what I'm saying to you. That's what Gabor was saying. It's this idea that we might not be worthy is an absolute illusion. There's no basis of that in truth. In fact, the only truth there is, the only thing that we know for sure, I mean, and it's proven just by, you just breathed, you just inhaled and exhaled. There's your proof. And you're doing it without thinking about it. You're doing it constantly. The most basic truth is that you are worthy, right? And so with this Seven of Swords, it's like, even allowing someone to come in, or you know, life or anything to make you feel as though that would be in jeopardy, or that would be in question, or that, you know, there is some possible way that in some way you don't deserve something, that's insane. And this is one of those fundamental misalignments that most of us have to some degree within us, that prevent us from being able to tap into our true unlimited nature. And with the Death card here, this is saying, you know, I'm putting an end to this, and through putting an end to this misalignment in my thinking, I am transforming. You know, I mean, this is a very powerful transformation with the Death card. It's like, I say this all the time, I feel like recently on the channel, it's like they say you have two lives, the one you live until you realize that you only have one life to live, and then the one you live after that. It's that moment. And that's what we're seeing with the storm and the regeneration. It's like the storm had to come to tear down that tower that was based on a faulty idea. And that idea was misaligned with your truth and with the truth. And it had to end. And this is what needed to happen for it to end. We had to get to this place. And you've got the Devil with the Knight of Swords here. You know, when I think of the Devil energy, I think of excessiveness. You know, like they use it as obsession, addiction, you know, these words of, or these concepts of, you know, not being in control, having something else control us, right? And when it comes to the Knight of Swords, you know, there is a recklessness about the Knight of Swords. I feel super duper guided to take another one on this Devil and this Knight of Swords, so I'm going to. Oh my God. I seriously, I'm done. I'm literally, I cannot sometimes with the tarot. I just cannot sometimes with the tarot. Do you see how many fives have come out? You've now gotten the Five of Wands in 3 different decks, and they were all on the bottom of the deck until I just pulled cards here for this. The Five of Wands was on the bottom of this deck as well. Now it's the Queen of Coins, which what is the Queen of Coins? That is worth, our value, our self-worth. Nurturing what, understanding what we possess and what our value is, and seeing it within ourselves so that the entire world sees it within us and they understand that it's non-negotiable for us. We have standards. We know our worth. We know our value. If you're not coming at me to treat me in a way in which I can see that you understand my value, then guess what? Wow, with the Ace of Swords underneath it, I'm going to cut you off because with the truth. Because the truth is, my value is not negotiable. Woo! Okay, this is definitely a spiritual thing. This is a spiritual ascension. This is a spiritual transformation and change that occurs on a very deep, almost like I keep getting cellular level. So take it as it resonates. But it is also happening like within the heart space. I think it is bringing in a partnership that is a reflection, that is a reflection of what you now know to be true about yourself. And this is something where it's like, this was blocked from coming towards you. It was not until I like, it is so hard to say. Until we understand this about ourselves, it's like other people can't understand it about us. It's something that you emit energetically, even when you really do know your value and you really do love yourself, and you're really not, you're like, I don't need to please you to make friends with you. I don't need to prove that I belong in this room. I don't need to, I am self-possessed, self-contained, understanding my own worth and my own value. And I'm not trying to prove it. I don't need a whole bunch of low vibrational friends to be like, well, I have so many friends that like, obviously I'm worthy. I like, look at my Instagram page. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no. I'm worthy because I say I'm worthy, because I know I'm worthy, because I'm freaking breathing, because I'm a freaking miracle. I also understand the fact that you're worthy and that you are, a living, breathing miracle as well. And it doesn't mean I have to be friends with you. That doesn't mean I have to let you in intimately. That doesn't mean I have to, I'm going to give you the opportunity to show me where you're at vibrationally. And if you're a match for me, then hell yeah, let's do the thing. But if you're not a match for me, then, I'm going to, I know my value. I have standards, and I'm going to turn my back and walk away. And if you should rise to meet the occasion, then I'll turn back around and I'll see what I think. You know what I'm saying? And people understand that about you when they meet you. I mean, even when someone like that walks in a room, they know. And I'm not talking about, oh, they're rich and they're dressed in Chanel from head to toe. Oftentimes that is somebody who doesn't know their worth and their value, and they're trying to prove it to you. It's the Emperor in reverse. It's like, oh, let me just show you how much money I have so that you understand my worth. Like, that's the worth of your bank account, not the worth of your soul, not the worth of your existence. Who gives a shit? The thing is that this is something where it's like, you other people are not going to see your worth and value until you see it within yourself. You know, and even when we're searching for validation, and we have all these friends, and we're like, oh, look how cute my girl squad is, but it's a bunch of people who really aren't probably going to be there for us on our darkest day. You know, or, you know, would say something like, oh, you know, this is just too heavy for me. Like, you know, lighten up, or let's go have fun, or whatever, when you're depressed, you know, and you're really like needing help. You know, that isn't, what does that count for? What does that matter? You know, it's all very superficial. So there is this energy of, you know, a true Queen of Pentacles. People are attracted to her. People want to be by her, but she says who gets to be by her and who doesn't, based on whether they have earned it by becoming a Queen of Pentacles on their own, and what energy they're showing up in. So, I don't know. I feel like I went on a tangent, and what I was trying to talk about is how we know when someone like this walks in a room. You know, when you take care of yourself, people know. It's also the things that you don't do. You know, you're not a pick-me, you're not a try-hard, you're not a suck-up. You allow other people to come to you. You're receptive, you're not chasing, you're open to flow, you're open to what's happening, but you're not out there being like, oh, pay attention to me, please pick me, you know. So until we come to this place where we truly deeply understand our inherent value and our inherent worth, and we treat ourselves that way, all of our free will decisions reflect our own deep understanding of what a miracle we are, then that block that seems to have been disappointing us, preventing us from experiencing something higher level. And you know, when we don't know our worth and our value, that's not also our fault. Do you know what I'm saying? Everybody struggles with it. Everybody struggles with it, because the entire world, the way the world is set up, it's set up to make you question it. And you know, our generational trauma, our parents, the messaging our parents got, and the messaging our parents pass on to us, and you know, even, my God, just freaking everything. You know, it is a real challenge, even when you find your worth and your value, to hold on to it, to not let the world take it back from you again. You know, this is something that you have to commit to, you know, being the Queen of Pentacles, right? Because everything external, it's like almost trying to take it away from you. So it's not something to even feel bad about, that you lived, you know, 40, 50 years without having ever realized your own worth and value truly, madly, and deeply. That is just the way life is, you know? And it's, you know, Maya Angelou said, when you know better, you do better. And that's the thing, you know. But even, you know, you can still, even when you know your worth and value, have things that rattle you to such a degree that you look at it again and you question it again. And you have to, you know, I always go back to Gabor Mate, and it's like, no, it's a freaking perspective. It's not the truth. I mean, the truth cannot be denied. And I love going for walks in nature and going to the botanical gardens. Like, there's a botanical garden, it's not far from where I live, and I go there kind of a lot. And I am so always awestruck by the beauty and the feeling and the just all of it, just being soaked in it, and just watching it all unfold and change. You know, when you go there a lot, you see a lot. You see even like the micro changes that happen in the spider webs that are there that weren't there the day before, and you know, but it's all so miraculous, you know, and it is the best reminder for me. It is the best reflection of my own worth, Mother Nature, you know, because I'm part of it. You are too. We're all connected in this web, right? But it's like, man, you can see the beauty in a flower. You can smell the beauty in a flower. Well, that beauty exists in you too. You know, it's not exclusive to the flower, right? Anyway, this is a major spiritual unlocking of the door. That key that we saw, the Hierophant, remember I said when I saw the key, I always think of the Hierophant. This is the spiritual gatekeeper, and this is what has been closed off that's opening up. This is that devil that has held you back, and now you're free to go with the Knight of Swords here. You're free to go because you know the truth. You can unlock the door now. You can you have the key that unlocks the thing that held you back, that prevented you from having and going in the direction that you had been wanting to go in. All right, I'm just gonna do one more thing. What happens next? Can you just tell us what happens next? Let's see. King of Cups, hell yeah. The Lovers, hell yeah. Wow, the Eight of Swords in reverse. So, you know, once this unlocks this limiting belief system, you have a soulmate that comes in. This blockage is removed, and you have someone with the King of Cups. This is someone who has done the work on themselves. They have mastered their own ability to have deep feelings and to not be freaked out by them, to not run, to not, you know, like this past person that caused this tower moment. This is someone who, it's like they see you and they see their whole world. This is someone who has the capacity to really, really, really love you deeply, and completely for who you are. Yeah. Wow. Wow. You have these two nines, the Nine of Swords and the Nine of Cups. Wow. Okay. Woof, jeez, wow. I get hit sometimes with like a lot of messages, like very quickly, and it's like, whoa, 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 and I'm trying to grab them and hold on to them and say them. But you have the Lovers with the Nine of Cups and the Nine of Fear. And, you know, everybody, well, I don't know if everybody knows this, but like the Lovers is associated also with the energy of choice back in the day in tarot. And we always have this choice, and it's a choice that only we can make. You have two nines here, and this is the singular sovereign energy, right? And this is that royal you energy that we started with. And it's like, I have the choice to live in fear, or I have the choice to live in emotional contentment. I have the choice to believe that the world is out to get me, or I have the choice to believe that the world is basically a benevolent place, or can be a benevolent place. One thing makes me feel nervous and anxious and prevents me from sleep, and the other makes me feel rich and full and content. And it's my choice. And when I choose love, then love multiplies. Love comes in, as within, so without. When I choose fear, fear multiplies, and I'm by myself, and I'm anxious, and I'm up all night, and I can't sleep, and I'm uncomfortable on my own, kind of like your past person, I feel like, is now. Then you have the Eight of Swords with the Seven of Swords, and they're both in reverse, which is very, very interesting, because this is when we drop this belief or this thing that we're telling ourselves. When you drop a core belief like that like maybe I'm not worthy, when you drop that, everything changes, because there are all of these thoughts that are attached to that core belief in the foundation. And so it affects everything. And when you go in and you fix your foundation and you find that thought that is sabotaging you, that is misaligned with you, that keeps giving you a result that you don't want, when you are able to look at it and you're able to change it and you're able to prove to yourself that shit, that's not true, and that's why the tower fell. Because that thing was a reflection of that flaw in my belief. You unlock 1,000 doors. It's not like you just open up this spiritual gate. You also open up so much, you release, all of the thoughts that are also associated with that core belief. And so all of these thoughts that were taking up all this space in your mind that couldn't be used to manifesting, couldn't be used to learning new things, couldn't be used to, read a book because you were so distracted by these thoughts that you couldn't focus on the words on the page, it took away from all of the big ideas and the big curiosities and the big things that you could be doing out in the world. It was limiting you in so many ways that you couldn't even fathom it. It was limiting your access to growth and to that unlimited nature, right? Of manifestation, of Empress energy, right? And once we release it, not only have we freed ourselves from that prison and from that limited belief system, but we have opened up to a whole new level of being able to learn, being able to grow, of curiosity, of pursuit of curiosity, of seeing the world through fresh eyes in a new way. This is like, it's a very powerful thing. And once that happens, it's like, it feels like there is this massive soulmate that comes in, this relationship that comes in. And it is divinely given, Ace of Pentacles. This is a solid and stable beginning given to you by the universe as a reflection of the abundance that you're seeing everywhere in everything. Mainly, and I mean, beginning, I guess I want to say, most importantly, with yourself. All right. You know what? I'm going to use these cards. Let's get some messages, Pisces. If you're dealing with a water sign, you have, I am attracted to you because you are not afraid to shine. Hell yeah, Pisces. I am attracted to you because you take care of yourself. I am attracted to you because you make everything sweeter. If you're dealing with a fire sign, geez, cards flipping everywhere here. If you're dealing with a fire sign, I am attracted to you because of your high sensitivity. I am attracted to you because your smile is contagious. I'm attracted to you because you are honest and stay true to yourself. Yes. I'm inspired by you because you are so resilient. I am attracted to you because you make everyone smile. Aww. If you are dealing with an earth sign, you are getting, I am attracted to you because you express yourself easily. I am attracted to you because of your sweet and comforting presence. Aw, I love your strong ambition. And I am attracted to you because you know how to have a good time. All right. Okay, if you're dealing with an air sign, you are getting, I am inspired by, look at that key. I am inspired by you because you always have the answers. I am inspired by you because of how you view the world. I am attracted to you because you are always willing to embrace change. And I admire you because you have a vast knowledge in many areas. Well, Pisces, this is what I have for you today. I hope it helps. I hope it brings you some peace and clarity. You're definitely, I mean, Spirit is really trying to get you the message that, and I do feel like it is kind of almost a pat on the back energy of look how far you've come. Look at what you've actually achieved. You've actually moved mountains, Pisces. That's the kind of vibe that I get today, and I think I was getting this yesterday as well. All the days, like, I can't keep them separate. Anyway, guys, I wish you all the best, always, always, and always. Until next time, bye-bye.